Hey, this is a visual demonstration of why the Minecraft region format is bad for non-unlimited worlds and it's optimized for streaming. So here, this is a region file in a hex editor. It's actually a region file from my housing world. I took it from the database directly. So this is my housing world. It's got nearly nothing. There's a small parkour and there are the other floating housing islands. If we look at the chunk view, the data, the region I'm talking about is about this here. There are some empty chunks here, whatever, it's 32 by 32. There are some empty chunks here. So we're talking about this data here. So looking at the file format here, I have the region file format. There's a structure here. And this file follows that. And it's really simple. You got 4,000 bytes of locations, and they kind of look like this. They have this kind of pattern, and then these are empty chunks. And then there's 4,000 bytes of timestamps, and you see they have like this pattern. And then after 8,192, there's the first chunk. And then there's like this compressed data. So this is the first point on why it's bad, is because it's optimized for fast writing and streaming. It doesn't clear the chunk, the sectors within the region file when it overwrites it. So here is a chunk set. So a sector is basically, it's 4,000. So from 8,000 to about 12,000, basically when the next chunk starts. This is a section. This is a sector in the region file. And there was a big chunk here before in this sector. And for some reason, whenever during like building, this chunk was moved to a different sector. It's got nothing. It's basically got nothing to do with what the builders did, but it's like during the process of building, chunks are moved in the region file. So this chunk specifically, the first 4 bytes, and here's the chunk data format. You see the four first bytes, and then you got a compression type, which is always 2 for zlib, and then you got the data. So this first chunk here, and it's always going to be the worst, the first chunk. If we look at Big Endian, it's got 175 bytes, and we count 175. You can look at the length here. 175 is this. So all of the rest in the sector, this is all garbage. This is a previous chunk. We got 1,000 something bytes of garbage, and this is compressed, pre-compressed, so we can't compress it further. So it's like from the 175, there is 1,000 of like nothingness that we lose when we save to file or to the database or whatever. Of course, the beginning of the file is going to be worst as bigger chunks get rewritten down the file. But even if we go like halfway, this is 747. This one's probably going to be fine. Let's look a bit further down. Yeah, this one is 147, like 174, and then we take 174, and the rest is garbage that we can just get rid of. So the second point, and you can see it when I scroll, is the chunks are compressed individually and there's padding in between. The padding is mostly resolved by just zipping the whole region files together, but by compressing the chunks individually, you can see it here. Like when I scroll, there's like a chunk data, and then there's padding to the next sector, and then there's chunk data, and then padding, and chunk data, and then padding. So each chunk has its own zlib header and its own zlib the dictionary for it or whatever. Plus, so like all of this could be shared instead in a single like file. And the third thing is that within the compressed data itself, so if we take this and we copy it elsewhere and then we uncompress it, we'll get NBT. This is the chunk format here. NBT is a Minecraft custom format. We'll take a look after. So basically, it looks a bit like JSON. You got like objects and you got arrays, and it contains the chunk data. In fact, I have a piece of software here, which if we look at the same region file but decoded as NBT, it looks a bit like this. So you got a chunk at 0, 0, and it's got some sections which contain byte arrays for like this. This is the types. This is air. This is dirt. This is stone, and whatever. So the fact that it's NBT, like it's got a lot of things we don't need, like this and this and this and this and this, and like this could be saved implicitly. Like there's and the entities we don't need either. So it's like unused data. And worse than that is that so the NBT format itself looks like a lot like JSON. In fact, like it looks a bit like this when it's stringified, prettified, or whatever. So here, this is going to be saved as 1 byte, but this level, the string, is going to be saved as a full string, which of course could be compressed, but it's kind of undeterministic. So if we look at, I have basically I took this MCA file and I uncompressed all the chunks and I removed the padding, and I got this 74 megabytes file. If we look at this in the editor, you can see the first chunk. We can already see the text for this this format here, level and light populated and Z pause and whatever. So these are the three things: is remove the garbage of the unwritten overwritten chunks, and remove the padding, and compress the whole thing, and just get rid of the NVC. See ya.